Good morning students and welcome to your science lecture. Today we will learn our chapter number 11 of science, that is transportation in animals and plants. So at first we are learning transportation in animals. Yes, and in our previous lecture we have discussed about the transportation and why the transportation is needed inside the organism, inside the animals and inside the plants, and what things get transported in our body, that also we have seen. And in plants also transportation is needed and how it happen, that also in brief we have seen. So here in this lecture we will learn about the blood. Why we are learning about the blood? What is the importance of blood in our body? So think that if we are learning transportation, so what is mean by transportation? To carry some things from one place to another place, from one place to another place. Suppose this is one place and this is another place. We have to transport some things from this place to this place. So we need some medium to transport. How otherwise how can we transport that things? So roads are there. We can see around us roads are there to go from one place to another place, and we can transport by this road some the things or substances from one place to another. By roads we can transport. But in our body, which things are that which transport the substance, necessary things from one organ to another organ? Yes, which are the things? Many things are there that we have to transport from one organ to another organ. We have seen in our previous lecture. So oxygen, carbon dioxide during respiration process, we inhale or exhale. So from lungs we have to carry towards the all parts of body oxygen, and from all parts of body we have to exhale out carbon dioxide. So transportation happen. So which thing help for that transportation? Blood. Blood is the very important thing which help in our body for the transportation. Means transportation medium, circulatory medium in our body is the blood. That is very important. Suppose this is one organ, that is liver, and it is small intestine. From liver we have to transport some juices or some very important things towards the small intestine. So what help? From liver through the blood it can transport that things towards the small intestine. So that blood is the transportation medium here. So everywhere in our body blood is the transportation medium. Through blood only we can transport, we can circulate everything in our body through only blood here. So which thing we have to circulate through the blood? Gases, digested food we have to circulate, again waste material, again hormones. That four things we have to circulate or we have to transport from one organ to another organ in our body. So these things are very important. We have to circulate, we have to carry, or we have to transport from one part of body to another part of body. So the blood is the connectivity medium. It connects different system of body by transporting gases, digested food, hormones and waste materials to different body parts. Connect different system of body. Means blood connect different system of body. From head to foot we are connected. How? By organs. But inside that organs the main things are get transported from head to foot. What is the medium? Blood is only the medium. So actually blood connect one organ to another organ. It is the connectivity medium. It is inner side. It is inside our blood vessels of the body. So blood vessels are everywhere. They are spread all over in body, and through that blood vessels means like pipe like such structures are that pipe like structure. From pipe does like that water flows through the pipe. Similarly, blood flows through the pipe. That pipes are called blood vessels, and that blood is the blood connect different system of body but to different body part. Okay, so this transport gases, digested food, waste material and hormones, and by circulating these things, it connect one part of body to another part. So this is very important. Again, how is that blood? What is the nature of blood? How it is that? How it that? So suppose this is the connectivity medium. Blood is the circulatory medium that we know now. Circulatory medium means it is the medium for circulating that things. Then second point, it is fluid in nature, fluid connective tissue. It is in the form of fluid connective tissue. Like we know that everywhere, in each and every place of our body, in each and every organ of body, cells are present. There is nothing without cell in our body. So these cells again combine, and that combination of cell is form tissue, and that the combination of tissue form organ. Means each and every organ is having its basic part as a cell. So, and again tissue. So blood is also having tissues. So this is fluid connective tissues. Again, it is 78% water and 22% solid. How is nature? It's having 78% water and 22% of solids. Means water part is more, liquid part is more inside the blood. That's why we can see blood is liquid in state. How we can say that? Because if any wound happen, if any cut happen on our skin and wound will be there, if wound will be there, then what will happen? Blood will flow from that wound. Immediately blood will flow. And why the blood can flow? Why the blood can flow? Because it is liquid in state. That's why blood can flow. Solid part is very less, only 22% inside the blood, and most part is liquid part. That's why blood can flow. It is fluid like structure. Okay. So this is about the blood, how its structure. And now in detail, what is inside the blood? What is inside the blood? So how can we identify? So if possible, visit to any lab. You will see any pathology lab. So in pathology lab, you will see one machine, that is centrifugation machine. In that centrifugation machine, with one plate is like that, plate or plate-like structure, like this structure. So in this hole, similar holes are present. Yes, and in that hole, blood samples are collected in that pathology lab, and that blood samples are taken inside the test tube, and that test tubes are fitted inside the hole. Suppose these are the hole in the centrifugation machine, and the test tubes are fitted in that hole like that, in this manner. This is also suppose one sample of blood, and it is collected in the test tube, and in that holes it get fitted, and then I have to remove that for that process. And after fitting that blood samples from center, it get rotate, but it rotate very speedily. It rotate very speedily as on electric it is running. So it is electrical machine, that's why it run very fast, and due to this circulatory motion or rotating of that plate, what happen? Suppose here test tubes are fitted and that plate is rotating continuously very fast. So what will happen? The lower dense part will attract at the center. The lower dense part of that test tube. Of that test tube, the lower dense part will attract at the center. That's why it will accumulate at the top of the fluid, at the top of the blood. मतलब क्या होता है, जो हमने ब्लड सैंपल लिया, ये ब्लड सैंपल सपोज ये टेस्ट ट्यूब है, ये सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन मशीन में फिट किया, तो क्या होगा, ड्यू टू रोटेशन, फास्ट रोटेशन, क्या होगा, वो जो ब्लड है वो 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड होता है. क्यों? क्योंकि जो लोअर डेंसिटी वाला पार्ट है, जैसे आपने देखा है कि आपके घर में कभी घी बनाती है मम्मी, उसके लिए बटर मिल्क के ऊपर बटर रहता है, उसको सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन ही बोलते हैं. सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन प्रोसेस ही रहती है, वो चर्निंग प्रोसेस. Churning process is also centrifugation process as well, similar to like that. So in that also, due to this churning, the butter is floating on that buttermilk. Have you seen any time? If you have not seen, see once at your home. You can see it easily, very easily. So like that, why the butter is on the surface of that buttermilk? Because butter is lower dense, density of butter is low, and density of butter is having lower density, and buttermilk is having higher density. That's why it is at the bottom, and butter is having low density. That's why it can float. That concept you know very well. So that which substance is having lower density, it will come at the top, and the solid substance which is having higher density, that will settle down at the bottom. Similar thing happen with the blood after centrifugation process inside the centrifugation machine. So due to this centrifugation, the solid part is accumulated at the bottom, and middle very less layer is present. We can see that very small layer, that is the middle layer. Again, upper side of that middle layer, one yellowish layer we can see, that is liquid layer, and it is having very less density. That's why it is at the top, and it is near about 55%. Means it will occupy more part of that blood. That is proved here. After centrifugation process, we can prove solid part is very less. It is deposited at the bottom, and then the middle part is very less part is that, and it's having WBCs and platelets. And at upper part, which is yellowish color liquid, and which is having less density, again it is 55%. Hence we can prove that blood is liquid in state. So that yellowish part, or that more part is occupied, that is having less density, that part is called plasma. That part is called plasma. So this liquid part is called plasma of that blood. And the middle very less part, we can see here, that part having WBCs and platelets. Yes. And the solid part which is accumulated at the bottom, which is settled down at the bottom, it's having very high density. So it's more dense substance, that is called RBCs. That is called RBCs, means red blood cells. And these WBCs means white blood cells. These are at the middle part white blood cells, and at the bottom red blood cells. As the name is red blood cells, we can understand this portion is definitely red in color. And due to this RBC only, we can see the blood is red. The blood get red color due to only this RBCs, and these are nothing but hemoglobin. This is nothing but hemoglobin. So these 3 parts are present inside the blood. That is very important to learn. First part is plasma, that is 55%. Middle part is WBCs, means white blood cells, and platelets, that is near about 1%. Again, at the bottom 44% dense part is present, solid part is present, that is known as RBCs. Hemoglobin is present here. So we will see the function of plasma, the function of white blood cells and platelets. Again, the function of RBCs. So before that, you have to draw these things. Write down these points also. What things get transported by the blood or through the blood, and how is the blood? How is the structure of blood? Circulatory medium, fluid, connective tissues. 78% water and 22% of solid. So you have to draw this. You have to write this. We will see separately the function of plasma, WBCs, platelets and RBCs. So here we can see the parts of blood which are separated after centrifugation process in the centrifugation machine. So after the centrifugation process, we could see in the diagram we have seen already, we can see the 3 layers of that blood. So in the 3 layers, the first layer at the top layer is called plasma. Then the second layer is very less, very less, that is WBCs and platelets. Very small, a small portion it is occupied, and at the bottom very dense part is present, that is known as red blood cells or RBCs. WBCs means white blood cells and RBCs mean red blood cells. So we will see about that plasma, RBCs and WBCs, again about platelets. So first we will see about the plasma. So plasma is having lower density. It is present at the top of all the parts of blood, and it is having 55% of fluid part of blood. It is 55% of fluid part of blood. So that it is liquid part. It is liquid part because 55% is fluid parts. That's why. Then second part we will see here that RBCs and red blood cells. And these RBCs or red blood cells are accumulated or deposited at the bottom because it's having higher density. It's having highest density among the all parts. So as it's having higher density, it is solid in nature, and these are red pigment hemoglobin. These are, what is RBCs? These are red pigment. These are red pigment, and due to this red pigment, the blood get red color. The blood appear as a red color. Yes. So red color appear of that blood due to this red pigment RBCs, and also it's having hemoglobin. Second, it absorb and bind with O2. That hemoglobin present in that portion, hemoglobin is having very much affinity towards the oxygen. Hemoglobin is having very much affinity. Affinity means attraction towards the oxygen. That's why as oxygen, hemoglobin find oxygen anywhere, it absorb, so that RBCs absorb and bind with O2 with the help of hemoglobin. And next, it provide oxygen to all parts of body parts. All body parts. It provide oxygen to all body parts. As they are having oxygen, they absorb oxygen. That oxygen, each and every part of body is needed, so that they provide oxygen to all body parts. So due to this hemoglobin, we get oxygen. Only that hemoglobin provide us oxygen. Then the red color occur of blood due to this red pigment or hemoglobin. Okay. So this red pigment or hemoglobin or RBCs, these are very important part of blood. Not for color only, but that part absorb oxygen which is most needed for our body. Then WBCs. WBCs means white blood cells. These WBCs fight with germs which may enter in our body. If germs are, we know germs are everywhere, and very easily if they can enter in our body if we are not having any precautions. So if the germs enter by default in our body, so our WBCs fight with that germ, means they maintain our immunity power as well. Okay, so because they fight with that germs and protect our body from that germ infection. Then platelets, with the WBCs, platelets are also present in the middle, that less portion area. In that less portion, in that less area, WBCs and platelets are present. It is middle layer. That platelets, what is that platelets? It causes clotting of blood. Due to these platelets, our blood get clotted. And why that clotting is necessary? It is very necessary process. Otherwise, if we are having any wound, all the blood of our body get flowed out of the body. मतलब हमारा यहाँ पर कोई wound हो गई, कोई यहाँ पर इंजरी हो गई, तो उसमें से यदि ब्लड बाहर आ गया तो पूरा ब्लड हमारा बॉडी का चला जाएगा थ्रू दैट वुंड. बट इट इज नॉट हैपन. व्हाई इट नॉट हैपनिंग? बिकॉज platelets plays role. Platelets cause clotting of blood, and due to this clotting of blood, our blood is not flowing out of body much. Okay, so at the surface of that wound we find the thick blood is accumulated. Yes, thick blood is accumulated. Why? Because platelets played its role at that surface of wound, and due to these platelets the blood is clotted and the flow of blood is prevented there, and due to this process we are prevented. So it prevents flow of blood out of the body. So these are about the parts of blood. Write down all that points in your notebook and read all that things from your NCERT textbook. It is very much important. Okay, I hope you understood that. About plasma, it is 55% of fluid part. Then RBCs, that red blood cells, these are red pigment or hemoglobin it is called. It absorb or bind with oxygen. As they are having oxygen, they provide oxygen which is very necessary to our body, which is very needed to our body. That hemoglobin only provide to each and every cell. Then the red color of blood occur or appear due to that red pigment or hemoglobin. Then WBCs are very important. They play role for the fighting with germs. Means they prevent our body due to infection of germs which may enter in our body. So WBC improve our immunity power. It maintain our immunity power because it prevent our body by the infection of germs. Then platelets, it cause the clotting of blood. So all that things are very important. Okay, thank you.